Hello everyone, thank you for listening to my story. I hope you liked it. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my process, about the way I made up this story. This is what I did. I knew that I needed to tell a story about an owl who flies so high that she gets shards of the moon in her eyes, and that was all I had. And to start off, what I did was research. I looked in books for stories about the moon, and I found a really cool story in a book of Siberian folk tales. And this Siberian story, it's very like the one I just told you. It has the son falling in love with a man, and then it has him being chased by an evil sorcerer, and it has the son bring him to safety up in the sky. And so that was the basis of my story. I basically stole it. If you're a storyteller, you can steal stories. That's what we do. But we don't usually keep them the same. We often change them and make them our own. We find details to emphasize, or we add things, or we take things away. And this is how I did that. I like winged horses, so I decided I would put a winged horse in the story, just because I like them. You can do that. And I like this thing where people get gifts from someone with magical powers, and they don't really know how to use the gifts, but they use them in a time of desperation, like when they're being chased. And that's the thing that happens in lots of stories, and I decided to do that myself. And so I decided that it would be cool to have a comb from the bedside table of the sun, and it would be cool to have a gemstone. And also I wanted to have it like in the original story. It didn't really explain how the man, who I called Martin, sort of turned big and round like the moon, and why the moon doesn't look like a man with arms and legs. And so I decided to have him eat the gemstone, and that's what expanded him and turned him into a big round spherical object. And I liked the image of him tumbling down hill and dale and being chased by the sorcerer. And so that was it. I had changed the story in the way that I wanted, and all I did was wrote it down on a piece of paper, but I didn't use proper sentences. I just write one word for each part of the story. Like I write chase, and I write dreamy Martin, and I write evil sorcerer, and that's it. I don't write proper sentences. I just use it to remind myself which part of the story comes next when I do the final part of my process, which is I tell the story to someone. Now, if you can't find someone, you can tell it to a mirror, or you could tell it to a recording device, like on a phone. But it's best to tell it to someone, I think. You get someone who's prepared to listen to your new story, and you have your piece of paper to remind you what comes next, and you tell them. And as you tell them, you'll find out which parts of the story really work well. And you'll watch for when they smile or when they gasp, and that will really teach you about your story, and it will help you make it even stronger the next time you tell it. That's how I do it. I hope that's inspired you. I'm sure that you have your own ways of making stories. You can bring them together with mine, and I hope that's going to make you more empowered story makers. So my name's Wilf Merttens. I hope you like my story, and I hope you make up some cool stories of your own. Bye!